الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي آمين. Hello and welcome. In this video I will shed some light on some characteristics that makes Tariqa Karkariya unique and authentic. I will also inshallah try to answer the question why we believe that Sayyidina Shaykh Sidi Muhammad Fawzi al-Karkari Qaddasallahu Sirrah is the inheritor of Muhammadian light. So the first evidence I'm going to address is the Sanad, and we all know the importance of the Sanad in our religion and the importance of Sanad to this Ummah. It is like the preserver of our religion, and Muslim scholars have considered Isnad to be indispensable and primary condition in order to acquire pure knowledge. And the importance of Isnad is not only mentioned to narrate a hadith, rather it is related to every form of Islamic knowledge. Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak radiyallahu ta'ala anh says that al-Isnad is part of Islam, and if it was not for Isnad, everyone would have said whatever he wanted to say. And Imam Shafi'i radiyallahu ta'ala anh says that the one who seeks knowledge without Isnad is like a person who gathers woods in the night. He carries a bundle of sticks without knowing if there is a snake in it. So it is something dangerous to learn knowledge without Isnad, and it is a science that has no Isnad is lacks to credibility, and it is not a sound science. It would be a weak science. So the Isnad of our Tariqa Karkariya is linked and connected with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, going through Imam Ahmad, Sayyidina Ahmad al-Alawiya radiyallahu ta'ala anh, and Sayyidina Muhammad al-Darqawiya and Al-Ihssan al-Shaذliyya radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, till it ends to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet who said, "I am the city of knowledge and Ali is its door." So whoever wants to enter to the city of knowledge has to come from the door, which we believe that its key and its secret has been transmitted through the Sanad till it arrives to Sayyidina Shaykh Sidi Muhammad Fawzi al-Karkari Qaddasallahu Sirrah. And the Sanad that we talk about is the spiritual Sanad that transmits from heart to heart till it ends to the door of the city of knowledge, because tasawwuf is a spiritual experience. It's not something that you can learn from books. Even if you read all books in the world, it wouldn't make you a knower of God. Knowledge of God is a matter of taste. It is a path of taste. No matter how eloquent you are, you cannot explain to someone, for example, what honey tastes like. The only way that you can explain to him what honey tastes like is by giving him a spoon of honey to try it by himself, and this is the right way. So the same thing with knowledge of Allah. If you want to know God, you have to taste the knowledge of God from its pure source, not read about it. It's not something that you can learn with your head. It's not something that you can learn in a textbook. Even if you read it in a textbook, you cannot understand it as the one who tasted it. It is an experience that takes all your entity and involves with all your senses. So the second characteristics I'd like to focus on more is the Nur al-Muhammadi, the light of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Murid comes to Sidi Sheikh, Sidi Muhammad Fawzi al-Karkari qaddasallahu sirrah, and makes bay'ah with him and puts his hand in his, during the time of giving bay'ah, Sidi Sheikh, Sidi Muhammad Fawzi al-Karkari qaddasallahu sirrah implants the light of the Prophet into his heart, and this light reflects on his eyes so he can see it obviously by his own eyes. And every murid in Tariqa al-Karkariya has seen this light. Everyone has seen it in accordance to his state and his preparation and yearning to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and of course according to his submission in his Shaykh, because it is very important to submit to your teacher so as to learn from him. But never happens in Tariqa al-Karkariya since the establishment till the moment I'm talking to you now that a murid makes bay'ah with Sidna Shaykh and says nothing. This never happened. So the degrees that I mentioned, the full moonlight and the brightest star in the sky, are mentioned in a beautiful hadith of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which says, the first batch to enter to paradise, their faces will appear like the full moonlight. The second batch, where their faces will appear like the brightest star in the sky. It is exactly what Murid in Tariqa al-Karkariya sees during bay'ah. And of course after bay'ah. And this light is given by the Shaykh in the first place as a gift, as priceless gift, without any effort from Murid, and stays with him and doesn't disappear. And if Murid does his awrad and dhikr as the Shaykh teaches him, does his mujahada, this light becomes greater and brighter till he may submerge into it and vanishes the whole darkness around him. And this advancement is described by Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as al-Iman. So Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam described al-Iman as a light. He said, the faith, al-Iman, the faith is a light that Allah places into the heart of his believing servant. It increases and decreases according to his good deeds. So it is like a measure of your state that you observe by your own eyes and by yourself. What I'm talking about here is neither a fiction nor a figure. It is something that a murid truly experiences in a complete state of awareness and completely awake, and he can see it whether his eyes open or closed. I know that this may sound weird to some people, but it is not. It is totally based on Quran and Sunnah. There are many hadiths and verses in Quran and Sunnah talking about the light of the Prophet ﷺ. We cannot neglect them. We cannot overlook them. We have to deal with them. We have to understand these verses and those hadiths of Rasulullah ﷺ. And if you enter to our website, it's linked in the description, you will find many testimonials of fuqara, of disciples, talking about their experiences in Tariqa al-Karkariya and their watching and witnessing of the light of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the light of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam Allah, by the light of the Prophet ﷺ, Allah has created the whole universe. In a hadith, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ says to Jabir radiallahu ta'ala an, the first thing that Allah created is the light of your Prophet. And in other hadith, he said, when Allah wanted to create the creation, He took a piece of His light, He took a piece of His light and said to it, be Muhammad. And even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Himself as the light of heavens and earth. The example of His light is like a niche within which is a lamp. The lamp is in a glass, the glass as if it were a pearly star lit from a blessed olive tree, neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil would almost glow, even if untouched by fire. Light upon light, Allah guides to His light whom He wills. And even and even modern sciences or physicists, the Big Bang Theory especially, claimed that there was a time the whole universe was a dot of light, was a dot of energy. And this is the first step that Murid of Tariqa Karkariya starts with. It is the first step that he starts with, which was once an extreme aspiration of disciples, of course before the appearance of Sidi Sheikh, because now Sidi Sheikh, it gives to you this light in the first meeting with him. So I think this is the most obvious evidence that Sayyidina Sheikh Sidi Muhammad Fawzi al-Karkari Qaddasallahu Sirrah is the inheritor of the Muhammadian light. Sayyidina Sheikh, who keeps saying that our tariqa, our path, is a path of vision. Who doesn't see the light of the Prophet is not my disciple, and I'm not his Sheikh. And this statement is not a rejection of his disciples. Absolutely not. It is a promise from Sayyidina Sheikh that everyone makes bay'ah with him will take the nur, the light of the Prophet ﷺ for sure. I think it's an incredible blessing time to be alive, and it is a marvelous grace of Allah to make bay'ah with such a real wali like Sidi Muhammad Fawzi al-Karkari Qaddasallahu Sirrah. And the third characteristics I'd like to point to is the Khalwa, which is one of the essential principles of our Tariqa al-Karkariya. And the Khalwa, when Murid reaches a certain level in istighfar among people, in jalwa among people, then Sidi Sheikh enters him to Khalwa, which is a dark, quiet place secluded from people. And the Murid, before enters to Khalwa, must be fasted and must be on tahara, of course. And then he sits in the center of the room, of this room, which is Khalwa, and oriented to Qibla, keeping saying the name of Allah continuously till almost for 3 days. And the fath, the opening of Allah comes to him. Then Sayyidina Shaykh Qaddasallahu Sirrah gives him the sanctified secret of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And during the time of Khalwa, Murid sees many of manifestations of God subhanahu wa ta'ala related to prophets before Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and malaika, angels, and many other creatures of Allah, and many sciences. And the khalwa is not something invented by people of Allah and made up by them just like that. It is a sunnah of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that has been neglected by the majority of ummah, unfortunately. Before the bi'tha, before the prophecy comes to Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to do khalwa in Ghar Hira, which is located in mountain of Nur, mountain of light. He used to do khalwa there for several times till the revelation of Allah came to him and asked him to recite in the name of your Lord who created. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. So in the end, I hope that everyone watching this video and has a real intention in seeking knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and is longing to his light, to visit and connect with the Zawiya al-Karkariya, which is located in Al-Arwi, Iqlim al-Nadur, and I'm very sure 100% that he won't return back empty-handed. So thank you for listening, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, wa subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.